Another day, another story. In continuation of Section 464 IPC. H. A sells and conveys an in and conveys an estate to Z. A afterwards, in order to defraud Z of his estate, executes a conveyance of the same estate to B, dated 6 months earlier than the date of the conveyance to Z, intending it to be believed that he had conveyed the estate to B before he conveyed it to Z. A has committed forgery. I. Z dictates his will to A. A intentionally writes down a different legatee named by Z, and by representing to Z that he has prepared the will according to his instructions, induces Z to sign the will. A has committed forgery. J. A writes a letter and signs it with B's name without B's authority, certifying that A is a man of good character and in distressed circumstances from unforeseen misfortune, intending by means of such letter to obtain alms from Z and other persons. Here, as A made a false document in order to induce Z to part with property, A has committed forgery. K. A without B's authority writes a letter and signs it in B's name certifying to A's character, intending thereby to obtain employment under Z. A has committed forgery inasmuch as he intended to deceive Z by the forged certificate, and thereby to induce Z to enter into an express or implied contract for service. Explanation 1. A man's signature of his own name may amount to forgery. Illustrations. A. Assigns his own name to a bill of exchange, intending that it may be believed that the bill was drawn by another person of the same name. A has committed forgery. B. A writes the word accepted on a piece of paper and signs it with Z's name, in order that B may afterwards write on the paper a bill of exchange drawn by B upon Z, and negotiate the bill as though it had been accepted by Z. A is guilty of forgery. And if B, knowing the fact, draws the bill upon the paper pursuant to his intention, B is also guilty of forgery. C. A picks up a bill of exchange payable to the order of a different person of the same name. A endorses the bill in his own name, intending to cause it to be believed that it was endorsed by the person to whose order it was payable. Here A has committed forgery. D. A purchases an estate sold under execution of a decree against B. After the seizure of the estate, in collusion with Z, executes a lease of the estate to Z at a nominal rent and for a long period and dates the lease 6 months prior to the seizure, with intent to defraud A, and to cause it to be believed that the lease was granted before the seizure. B. Though he executes the lease in his own name, commits forgery by antedating it. A trader, in anticipation of insolvency, lodges effects with B for his benefit, and with intent to defraud his creditors, and in order to give a color to the transaction, writes a promissory note binding himself to pay to B a sum for value received, and antedates the note, intending that it may be believed to have been made before A was on the point of insolvency. A has committed forgery under the first head of the definition. Explanation 2. The making of a false document in the name of a fictitious person, intending it to be believed that the document was made by a real person, or in the name of a deceased person, intending it to be believed that the document was made by the person in his lifetime, may amount to forgery. Illustration. A draws a bill of exchange upon a fictitious person, and fraudulently accepts the bill in the name of such fictitious person with intent to negotiate it. A commits forgery. Explanation 3. For the purposes of this section, the expression, affixing electronic signature, shall have the meaning assigned to it in Clause D of subsection 1 of Section 2 of the Information Technology Act, 2021 of 2000. Section 465 of IPC. Punishment for forgery. Whoever commits forgery shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 2 years, or with fine, or with both. Section 466 of IPC. Forgery of record of court or of public register, etc. Whoever forges a document or an electronic record, purporting to be a record or proceeding of or in a court of justice, or a register of birth, baptism, marriage or burial, or a register kept by a public servant as such, or a certificate or document purporting to be made by a public servant in his official capacity, or an authority to institute or defend a suit, or to take any proceedings therein, or to confess judgment, or a power of attorney, shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 7 years, and shall also be liable to fine. Explanation. For the purposes of this section, register includes any list, data or record of any entries maintained in the electronic form as defined in Clause R of subsection 1 of Section 2 of the Information Technology Act, 2021 of 2000. Section 467 of IPC. Forgery of valuable security, will, etc. Whoever forges a document which purports to be a valuable security or a will, or an authority to adopt a son, or which purports to give authority to any person to make or transfer any valuable security, or to receive the principal, interest or dividends thereon, or to receive or deliver any money, movable property, or valuable security, or any document purporting to be an acquittance or receipt acknowledging the payment of money, or an acquittance or receipt for the delivery of any movable property or valuable security, shall be punished with imprisonment for life, or with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 10 years, and shall also be liable to fine. Section 468 of IPC. Forgery for purpose of cheating. Whoever commits forgery, intending that the document or electronic record forged shall be used for the purpose of cheating, shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 7 years, and shall also be liable to fine. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.